it is. It's recording. Yeah. All right. There we go. We're recording. Woohoo! Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming to you from the dark recesses of the proverbial Don Forge pouch. This is episode 217 of the Shattered Soulstone. It's half off, baby. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at bit.ly/Soulstone 2019. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, MP3 player, or real man phone. I'm gonna it because today is June 30th, the last day of June 2019, and I'm your main man, Deadgreed. Today I brought, as usual, like my second favorite type person, coming to you from a hardcore character with extra hellfire necklaces. It's Shazam.
What's going on?
Dang, I ain't coughed all day. Now all of a sudden, I pushed the record button. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to cough in your ear. I know y'all. Some people are listening on headphones. I'm not trying to be rude. I apologize about that. I've been having this cough lately, but I wasn't coughing at all this today. Except for like right now, for some reason. Who the hell? Anyway, brother, how was your week?
It was alright. Can't complain. My boss was off all week, other than that.
Oh, nice. I literally just figured out what I was gonna name the show before we named it that. I told you I was gonna figure. I told you. I said, okay, before the show started today, I sat here for 10 minutes because I had like a show title like lined up. And for 10 minutes, I was trying to think, because I didn't write it down. And for 10 minutes, I was trying to think of what the heck I was going to name the show. And then, so then I just named it It's Half Off, Baby. And we'll tell you why. That's the thing. Anyway, Shazam, what I was going to name the show was Look at My Pad. That's what I was going to name the show. Oh. But, yeah, I forgot. So, extra bonus content for you guys that are out there sending us emails and money. Look at My Pad is the secret episode title.
I don't want to look at your pad or your tampon.
No, it's not that kind of pad, bro. Mouse pad, bro. If you look at Discord, if you were in Discord, like most people should be, then you would be seeing a picture. Actually, I took a picture of my mouse pad, and then that spawned a whole conversation about mice. And I was like, the mouse pad. It had nothing to do with the mouse. Maybe I should have took the mouse off before I took the picture. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, so everybody was talking about mice. How was your weekend gaming, brother?
It was all right. I was grinding on hardcore, and then can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. It's probably Saturday that I decided that. A couple days before that, I made a demon hunter, and to farm farm keys and stuff like I do on softcore. It's not a big deal. And then I was doing Torment 12 Nephilim Rift, and I got the Avarita conquest. Not trying, just got it. Like I always do. And then it sparked in me like, oh, I could do that Greater Rift 45 achievement. That's not a problem. So I went over to my, I got all my multi-shot stuff off, stuck it in my bank, stash, whatever you want to call it. And I put on all ancients except for my Dead Man's Legacy and my Yang's Recurve. And then I went over to I was missing boots, I was missing gloves. I was like, oh, I just need ancients. They don't have to be dexterity stuff. I'll go steal them from my crusader. So I stole them. Used the primal pandemonium loop because I'm not going to use it ever anyway. So I was like, screw it, I'll just use it on this because it's ancient, so I'll use it. And then I'm over at the thing where you make a greater rift, and I'm like, I could smoke a 45. I'll do a 50. So I got into a 50, and I did fine. I was like tons and tons of time ahead, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna have this done, have the 45 done. And then the Rift Guardian spawned, and it was like racking off. And he like charges you, and then it procs you. And then I was in the barracks map, so I'm like running, like all zigzagged. And like I dodged like him like teleporting on me like a couple times. I dodged out. I'm like, I need to get back to town. I need to get back to town. And he ended up murdering me.
Oh.
So Demon Hunter 1 dead. Which again wasn't a big deal. My Yang's Recurve, my Dead Man's Legacy was the only thing I really lost. Other than like boots and gloves and stuff from my Crusader, which still haven't gotten good gloves yet. So,
Should have had them homing pads, bro.
yeah, I could have stole them off my Crusader, but I'm like, if I die, then I'll lose them, and I really need them for my Crusader, so I'm just gonna keep them on. So then I leveled up another Demon Hunter, and like every time like a Demon Hunter dies, I take a Gem of Ease, level it to 25, take another piece of the UE set, and make it level 1. So as of right now, I got ancient ancient shoulders, and I can't remember the other piece of ancient that I got. Oh, the Bombardier's rucksack. I have at level 1. That's an ancient. So if I need to level up again, it's gonna be cake because I was doing like Torment. I think Torment 6, leveling up my Demon Hunter the second time after like level 50, level 1 to 50. I just stayed at like Torment 1, but I'm like, I'm just gonna bump it up. If I die, I die. But I made it. And then yeah, so today I was trying for the famous Hellfire amulets. I got one that doesn't have a good passive, but it's got crit and fire damage on it. It's crit 90%, fire damage 20%, so there's that. And then I did I think Greater Rift 82 right before the show, and I got like 920 on the leaderboard, so I'm getting up there. Need to finish getting ancients. Need to actually get an ancient Justice Lantern. Haven't had one drop yet. Need to get an ancient Convention Elements. Again, haven't had one of them drop yet. Or an ancient Unity. I need ancient bracers. Need ancient gloves. Need them famous ancient illusionary boots, but I don't do bounties very often, so it's kind of hard to get them when you don't do bounties.
Yeah, that's the thing, ain't it?
Um, Other than that, I'm Paragon 702, and I've done an 82 so far, and you know I'm still on that first hardcore Crusader, and he has many of hours played so far.
There you go.
That's my week.
Man, I just I hit over 1100 Paragon. I'm like 1140, I think, something like that, somewhere around there. 1130, 1140, whatever. I think 1145, whatever. 11 over 1100 anyway. And I've just been smashing, trying to get a pair of gloves, and I popped a primal. Of course, they're gladiator gauntlets, but the witch doctor doesn't have to have a certain pair of gloves. I'd like the St. Archer's gauge because it gives you like a shield, Uh, really a lot more toughness, and I could use some more toughness, but primal, and they roll really good. Those gloves roll really good. So I just need another ring, and I'll have all the gear I need, and then I'll be looking for little bitty upgrades. But just like Saturday morning, I woke up like super early. I woke up way before my alarm, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I came in here and fired up Diablo, and Lamnus was on, and Lamnus was like, "Yeah, let's run some." And he grabbed his. He's got a support monk, so he grabbed his monk, and so we start off like light, like 100, and then we bumped it up, bumped it up, bumped it up. We ended up doing some 110s before I had to go to work. And I had to split and go to work, but yeah. I mean, we're able to do 110. When he changed over to his support monk, I went complete glass. I dropped my frightening aspect, languish, which is 50% armor increase, which is a lot of toughness. I mean, that's a lot of toughness. So I dropped all that toughness and picked up sacrifice, provoke the pack, and was running a resurrection build. I dropped my string of skulls and picked up a homunculus offhand. And I was up in the neighborhood of about 8 million damage per second, and he was keeping me alive. I did die one time, but I was like, how like you're right on the edge of an explosion, and you think that like it's not gonna hit you. Well, it got me. So that's, I mean, more my fault than anything, but Dave was able to keep me alive, and man, we did some 110s, and you put the big bad voodoo down. You hit sacrifice 5 dogs for 100% toughness increase, and then put Piranado down, which makes them take 15% increased damage. It is ridiculous how fast. Oh, and then you stand in a little yellow Oculus ring pool for the 85%. It's, oh my god, the damage is just, that stuff the bar just goes, just sucks down. Especially when I hit the poison rotation, it's so just, it's just so fire. It's just like, holy shoot. Anyway, so we did that 110, and I had to go to work, and other than that, we ran some rings. Me and you, you and my son, run some ancient puzzle rings. I ran some with Rona, and my son was playing. My son came back. I don't know if I talked about it last show or not. Anyway, I leveled my son, and then he wanted to do. He immediately was like, "Hey, you really should roll the monk because he wants to do the speed good lord, wave of light. I can't talk. Sorry, that wave of light build, and he wants to do that support monk. So he's working on that gear. Been leveling him up, been trying to get him geared. Just trying to put groups together, right? Because you know how much more Paragon you get with groups. So just been working on that. Played some No Man's Sky today. I was playing right before the show, No Man's Sky, and just I got my weapon upgraded and put some augments on my multi-tool for a pulse splitter, so that way I could shoot down doors and stuff and kill things. just working on progression, and I've been just flying around in my super gorgeous ship, and I wanted to. I ran around getting a whole bunch of salvage technology, so that way I could buy the blueprints from the blueprint. That little blueprint machine that you got. So I bought a whole bunch of those patterns, and anyway, it just been working on it. It's like it's a fun game. Um, anyway, Saturday I was at work, and my earphones break, and I broke so many pair of earphones. I can't even tell you. The problem is I put my phone in my front pocket because I'm in and out of my truck, and I don't want to put it in my back pocket because I don't want to take it out of my back pocket and put it in my front pocket every single time I get in and out of my vehicle. I'll probably get in and out of that vehicle like a couple hundred times a day because I got like an all dismounted route where I just pull up and I get like 3 houses, and I pull up and get 3 houses, So I'm in and out of that truck all day long. So it's like, I've tried those things like where you put it on your belt, your phone, but it's so annoying because that's where the seatbelt is. I don't know. The only real option is put it in my front pocket, and then when I get in and out of the truck, it bends the wire back and forth on the, the little, where you plug it in on your phone, and it tears a freaking. I bought a brand new set of earphones, and they're like $40 or something. Those Apple ones, And I bought them right before my wife went to Germany. My wife was in Germany for 4 weeks. They're broke. So those stupid things last me like a month and a half. And I can't buy a new set of earphones like every month. That's just ridiculous. So I was talking to my wife on the way home Saturday, and she was like, well, what about getting a wireless like those Apple wireless ones? And I was like, they're kind of expensive. I could have bought a pair, but man, do I want to? They're $200, bro. 200, and they don't even last all day. That's what kicks me in the head. I'm not giving you $200 for something that only lasts like 4 hours. You're out of your mind. I need something that lasts like 10, 12 hours. I see everybody with them, but they only wear one. I don't want to wear one. I want to wear two. I like listening to music. I like good sound. I want everything. You never know. I might bust off in a singing session while I'm delivering mail. Can't be doing that with only one earphone on. So, you know how it is. Sometimes I might be like, shot through the heart, while I'm delivering my mail. It is what it is, right? So anyway, I'm standing there at Best Buy, staring at all the earphones, and I was like, And my wife was cool with me buying them Apple ones. And I had them in my hand, and I was like, $200, man. I put them back, and I looked at these other ones that were like hella cheap, and I was like, screw that. Then I seen these these ones that like the the ones that go like around your neck, and then you put those type, and they usually like 140, but they was on sale for like 60, and I was like, bet $60 is right up my alley. I was paying 40 for the stupid Apple plug-in ones, so another $20. Hey, you're talking to greed now. $60. That's what I like. And I got them, and I was fixing to Anyway, sorry, messages. Bloop, bloop. Yeah. Anyway, I was I was fixing to jet out of there, but my wife's like, "Hey, let's look around." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I'm following my wife around the store, and I go, where I go, over to the Razer stuff, looking at headphones and keyboards and all that stuff, and then had to notice that they had the Razer Firefly mouse pad, and it was on sale like hella cheap. And my wife's like, "You want to get one? Get it." I was Like, oh, you ain't gotta tell me, bro. Shoot, that's easy. So I snagged one of them, and that's what all the that's what all the anyway, that's what all the mouse pad pictures were all about in Discord. I happen to get that mouse pad, and it's nice. It's more like those cloth ones, like they're, I don't know. This is like a hard. It's a, I don't know. It's like it when you operate the it's like glass though. It's not glass, but I mean it's like a hard plastic. But when you operate the mouse on it, it's very smooth. I had to turn my DPI down on my mouse because it was like my mouse was jumping all over my screen because I was like, ooh. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so I got that. So that was my week and blah blah blah. Right? You want to go over the Diablo 2 stuff?
But Diablo 2's 19th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yesterday, time of recording, it was yesterday. Yeah, 19 years ago. It's pretty crazy. So then it just tells me how old I'm getting.
Yeah, well, I'm a little older than you, bro. So it is what it is.
That game came out like right after I got out of high school. And I got like my first full-time job, and it was second shift. So it's 2:30 to 11. So from about 11:30 to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, know what I was doing? I was playing Diablo
Yeah.
2.
There you go.
I did that for many of years. That was, in its day, that game was, God, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it came out and I was in Germany. Well, was I in Germany? When did it come out?
That would be 2000, sir.
Yeah, I was in Germany. Most definite. Anyway, yeah, I remember, right? Sometimes you don't remember stuff right. You know what I mean? Yeah, memory. I was in Germany, and the big deal was the other guy with the same last name as me and the same first name as me, by the way. They thought it was funny to put him in my unit when he came to our squadron because we both had the same name. And they put him in my platoon, in my section, on my vehicle. Yeah. Um. Anyway, we had the same name, and he played a lot of Diablo 2, and I played Diablo 2, and the big deal was we were always trying to get our computers to talk to each other so we could LAN party. But I don't know if we were retards or I don't know. We like never got it to work. I don't know. We had all kinds of equipment, cables, and I don't know. We had program. I don't know why we couldn't get it to work. It's so easy now. Like people take that for granted. You know, like you can just like you walk in to your house and your phone automatically just bams right on the Wi-Fi. You know, it's it really wasn't like that back in the day. You had to do some hoodoo magic in order to get it going. And there's probably some high-level computer guys pulling their hair out, but back in those days, I literally didn't know anything about a computer. There was a dude that lived right across the hallway from me. The Chinese guy, really cool dude, and he taught me a lot about computers. But that's one thing we could never get to work was that LAN party. We was always trying to get it to work. And so yeah, Diablo 2 anniversary, man, 19 years. I can't even believe that's been 19 years ago, bro. That is like that's been a blink of an eye ago. Like yeah, 19 years, man. Wow. Anyway. So yeah, 19 years. That's cool. Mike Warhine did like a discuss thing, and I don't know. He was talking about the real money auction house, and I guess basically to give a rundown. Everybody knows that it was jacking the gameplay up, so he was just talking about how. Um, he was just talking about how he he removed it, and they just, and it didn't matter what anything. So anyway, everybody knows they removed it, and I don't know. I think that I think that because of the real money auction house, and this isn't what he was saying. This is just my opinion. They pulled the real money auction house, and then they redesigned all the loot for like loot 2.0, if you remember that. And I think that's why we didn't get an expansion, because they basically gave us all the stuff we would have gotten in an expansion for free. Canias Cube, the augments, all that stuff, right? All these other, all the other stuff that we would have gotten in an expansion. Because we got like the new areas, the necromancer. I'm not sure that the necromancer would have been in an expansion, but they've added a lot to the game since Real Money Auction House, and basically, I guess we had to pay for Reaper of Souls, but everything else we've got was pretty much free. And he was just talking about how, like, that was the decision made, even though it cost them a lot of money, because they could have made a lot of money off another expansion. I would have bought it, and so he was just saying that they did it, and just because, like, how the game was, the original game was going. you know it, it, I did play Diablo 3 before Reaper of Souls, but not near as much as I play now. And it was an okay. I didn't like the auction house, which is, my name's Greed. I got a whole thing for auction houses from WoW. It really wasn't the same, and the gameplay wasn't very. It was all about trying to grind gear so you could sell it on the auction house. It was kind of like this weird. Anyway, I agree with what he's saying about removing it. I think they could have removed it, took some flack, and then released Reaper of Souls, and did Loot 2.0 and the adventure mode, and that's basically what we got. And I think the Crusader, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the Crusader. For Reaper of Souls, we got the Crusader, adventure mode, and anyway, they could have done that. And they didn't they up the Paragon when that Reaper of Souls 2? Because it was, you could only get to 1,000, right, before
100.
100, whatever it was. Anyway, they let the Paragon grind go and all this stuff, and it was way better. And they could have totally just held the other features back and dropped another expansion, expansion 2, and we would have probably. So I think it's cool that they released all that stuff, and they just let us have it for free. I think that's cool because they had like a little blender there at the auction house. It was kind of a thing. Anyway, he talked about some immortal stuff. I don't want to go over it. It's what he was talking about. You can go to Diablo Fans, which is a great website, by the way. It's back. Yeah. And y'all can read all this whole write-up about all this stuff. But he went into like immortal and expectations, and I didn't really agree with what he said, and I didn't really want to bring it up because it's, it might be the best game ever. I doubt it. I don't know. I hate to prejudge, right? But it's like I don't know. It's just this thing, right? It's like when it comes out, I might grab it and play a little bit, but I'm not really looking forward to that. And I'm not the best judge either because I wasn't exactly looking forward to the Legacy of Nightmares buff, and now I'm loving that. Um, have you seen all the forum talk about the Legacy of Nightmare buff? Have you seen any of that at all? You've been tracking it?
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of people were bringing up that like League of Legends, they have all these themes, and then after the theme's over, they introduce it as a feature of the game.
Yeah, PoE does that.
Oh, maybe it's PoE. Sorry, I don't PoE or League of Legends. Sorry, guys. I Diablo. So anyway, people were saying that they should get rid of those stupid rings and then just leave this buff for people that want to do Legacy and Nightmares because it's way better than having the rings. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they would have a buff like all the time. That I kind of thought maybe it'd be decent to have it like non-season, but like, I don't really never play non-season anyway, so I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about keeping the Legacy of Nightmares buff? You have any thoughts of it?
I think the thing I see is like once this season's over, half these Legacy and Nightmare builds are dead.
Yeah, because of the rings.
Yeah. Sorry to say that, but they're dead.
Yeah.
Blessed Shield Crusader is going to be dead. Um, I'm sure your Witch Doctor is going to be dead.
Oh yeah, it's because I had to have a Unity to make it work. You know.
We have to have Justice Lantern, and we don't have to have Unity, but that's 50% damage reduction. Justice Lantern's damage reduction. The only ring that we have that buffs anything is Convention of Elements, obviously. Um, but yeah, if I'm sure that's why people are complaining is, half the Legacy and Nightmare builds that are out this season are gonna essentially die at the end of this season.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that they want the buff all the time is just so they have more options to play. Which I understand it on both sides. The Legacy and Nightmare buff, which, okay, you leave that in. Okay, Blessed Shield Crusader is number one. And then after the season ends, Blessed Shield Crusader's done, and all the sets are shit. You know what I mean? The only one that even stands a chance is the Wizard, which Veer's the Archon build is
Shandodos or whatever.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And maybe what the hell is it called? Demon Hunter, but with the Legacy of Nightmares Rapid Fire, that's like tons of greater rifts ahead of like number 2. Last time I checked, which has been like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah,
I don't know. I see both sides of the coin, and I don't know which side I would like to be on. But I would like to play Blessed Shield after this season, but I don't want to see like all the sets be completely trash because of it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because if you leave the buff, what are the sets? Because if you leave the buff, you almost have to buff the sets again. Because who's running a set right now?
Wizards.
Well, I mean, minus the Wizard, but I mean, like, you don't see any you don't see any Jade Harvester Witch Doctors. You don't see any Zumasa Witch Doctors. You don't see any Archon Crusaders, right? Like whatever the heck that, you don't see any Whirlwind Barbs. Not running no Whirlwind set. You don't see them on the leaderboard. everything on leaderboard is pretty much Legacy and Nightmares. And I mean, it's cool because it's Legacy and Nightmares set. So the thing is I could build my Witch Doctor with the 2 Legacy and Nightmares rings, but I'm gonna lose an Oculus 85% increased damage, and I'm gonna lose a Convention of Elements 200% increased damage. I have 2 primals, so I'm gonna lose those, and I'm gonna lose a Unity, and in a group I run the what's the other one? I'm blanking right now. Stone and Jordan. Sorry guys, I'm my mind. So I'm gonna lose. I'm running 3 rings that don't have nothing to do with that set, and so I'm gonna lose 2 of those 3. And if I have to wear those 2 rings, it's either I'm gonna lose. Either I can keep one of the 3. So it's either the Unity, the Oculus, or the Convention of Elements. And it's hands down, I'm gonna keep the Unity, because how much toughness this toughness is like. So I'm gonna lose 285% increased damage. That's a lot of damage. So I don't know. I mean, I really like the fact that they buffed the Carnival this season. I've just been murdering and having fun on it. It's been really good. But I don't know. The next theme, it's got to be really good to get me away from wanting to play a Legacy and Nightmares Carnival Witch Doctor, right? Because I mean, you know how much I've been into it this season. So I don't know. If you remember back when we were talking about the Legacy and Nightmares was going to be the buff for this season, and we were like, oh, they should have saved that 750% buff for this season. But it doesn't matter. It almost was better that they did it that way, because we all got to practice these Legacy and Nightmare builds, and some of this stuff kind of got fleshed out before this season happened. So all these builds kind of came up, and some of them did come out of nowhere, but these builds were kind of already fleshed out from last season, which I like. I like that they did it that way. At first, I was kind of like, didn't make no sense to me. But, and I'm not sure on Crusader or the other classes, but on the Witch Doctor, there is seriously like 6 different builds that all rotate off of the Carnival Dagger and Darts build. I mean, you got like a Resurrection, you got the Dagger and Darts build, you got the Big Bad Voodoo build, you got the Eucarpian Serpent build, you got the Homunculus build. I was like, what in the heck? There's so many different builds. And I'm not sure about monks or whatever. I'm sure that is all the Crusaders doing the same thing? Or are they all built differently?
I don't know. I just look at Blessed Shield, and that's all the lawn sets I look at.
Yeah, but there isn't like 3 or 4 different really viable sets of Captain America, right?
No, it's all basically the same.
Yeah. If you look at the Witch Doctor leaderboard, which I know you don't have a reason to, but the number 1 guy's running Resurrection, and the number 2 guy's running like the dogs. Number 3 guy's he's running like a String of Skulls build. It's the number like 8 or 9 guys running the Dagger and Darts pure build. It's like it, and they're all except for that dude on top. He's way ahead of everybody. He's like 131. Last I looked, it's been some days since I looked. But I guess 128, and then it goes to 131, which I know is just a few numbers. It's only 3 levels higher, right? But that is a big jump.
It's 100% more damage.
Yeah, that's a big jump. I know when you look at it and you're like thinking, oh, three more levels. It's, it's not like going from 20 to 23. I can tell you that. That's a major. Mm. So yeah, he's running that. He's solo running that. It's just pure glass. If anything even touches him, he must be a dodging ninja, bro. I mean that I have no idea how that guy. I wish I could see him play, cause, whew, maybe I should YouTube it. Maybe he's got a YouTube video or something.
Maybe.
Anyway, I'm rambling. Um, so they did a creator spotlight on Diablo fans, which I'm so glad they're back. It's, so they were featuring. They picked Big Daddy Den. If you don't know who he is, he's a YouTube video creator. He does a lot of necromancer and a lot of. He's really a big witch doctor guy, but he's gotten into doing some other stuff for other classes. But he primarily does witch doctor and necromancer. And he's got a pretty nice build up here for a gold farming build for a necro. He calls it the necro golden singularity. So I guess it's a bunch of singularity mages and a whole bunch of gold find. Just for a fast, speedy clear. Anyway, if y'all go on to Diablo fans, go down there to the Creator Spotlight, check his video out because he does a really good job with those, and he's one of the guys that I love watching his stream. He's on Twitch, obviously, same name, Big Daddy Den 76, I think. And just check it out because yeah, he does really good on those. And speaking of doing really good on a video or a podcast, whoo, Jen, dang boy, she is paid for another advertisement here on the Shattered Soulstone. So, whoo, man, she got a podcast. I know what you're thinking, like, what? Jen's got a podcast, isn't she on yours? Well, sometimes, but she's got her own podcast, all about like storytelling about Diablo. It's this whole thing where she tells you all these characters and she explains to you how what's going on of Diablo. No, it's a good podcast. It's not one of these 3 hour Joe Rogan experience marathons about aliens, but it's a really good podcast. She does like 15-20 minutes at the most, and you can get in there, get you some really good information all about the game we love, Diablo. And so yeah, if y'all want to go over to bookofjen.net and check her podcast out called Jen's Lore Corner, I'll give you the medium speed clap. And that's not mediocre. That's pretty, because I usually give the slow clap. Yeah, she does a good job. Anyway, I want you guys to go check her out because it's and you might learn about whoever you're listening to. You got any blue notes or anything, brother?
Nope.
I know you got your community feedback, right? I'll let you do your community feedback section.
So, last week, I decided to ask a question. And this week, I've realized why they quit on questions of the week.
Come on, bro. It's only been one time, bro. You can't judge it off once, bro.
But last week, I asked a question. What enemies would you like to see in Diablo 4? What enemies would you think would look cool in the next game? We got a whopping 2 replies. Now I'm being told that a third person by the name of Dread Scythe went all about this in chat, but he decided to not put anything in community feedback. So I
I don't know
wasn't
if
in
he
the
was
chat.
busy. I don't know if he was busy, bro. I mean, you know how real life, how real life goes. But he had
Yeah.
some. It was a very interesting conversation. I tried to get him to write it up. I don't know. Maybe he was busy.
But I asked this a week before last week's episode, or a couple days before. I can't remember. The date was 6/20.
It was like 2 days before, I think. Whatever.
So yeah, 10 days ago I asked this question, and Jen immediately replied the same day. Says, to answer your question, I want to see a dungeon full of Morlu in Diablo 4, just the ones that fight. Just the ones that fight, though, not the ones that drop fire on you. Idea would be a group of players would have to kill off the Morlu mob within a certain amount of time, or they respawn by pulling themselves back together. Inspiration, the description of the Morlu in the Richard Nax Sin Wars books. I forgot which book it was. Now I had to Google what a Morlu was right after
I was
that.
pleased to ask you, bro,
That's-
because I had no idea what a Morlu is. Um,
I think they're in the game now. I don't know if, like, I just Google searched the name and it just looks like a humanoid thing with like this three arms on each side. I didn't
uh,
I didn't really
I
look
don't.
at a whole
I don't
bunch
think
of
they're. I don't think they're on the. I don't. We don't have anything like that in the game, do we?
what about the
How would this have for you? I'm
what
not
are,
sure.
what are them things that shoot lightning and stuff at you, or them? I can't remember what they are. There's
Well, the
like
fireballs. Hmm. I'm really horrible at this. Wow.
yeah.
Great content. No, I don't mean that. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I meant me, not you. That sounded bad. Sorry, bro. I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to take a shot at you, man. That was a shot at me. Because I
Um,
don't know what a Morlo is, and I don't know what any of the mob names are. Sorry.
Super Jess, they're pretty new. They've been in Discord for a couple weeks now.
Welcome, brother.
They they chimed in. I'd love to see more humanoid style creatures. I think like a Demigorgon from Stranger Things, not necessarily the undead or actual humans, but human-like creatures with monster features, maybe scaled to be much larger than you, to be more menacing. Yeah, yeah, that'd be pretty. I'd go with that. Like, I don't think there's like, I don't think there's any creatures in Diablo, and I could be wrong, that they're like horse and then like from like the torso up's a human. I can't remember.
Centaur.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that in the game either.
No, that's not that my memory recalls. People are probably screaming at their freaking phone right now. Act 3! Act 3! What the heck? I don't know. If it is, sorry, I don't think so, though. I had a good idea. I did not write it in the Discord thing because, I'm kind of on the show all the time, so I didn't write it down, but I do have a good idea. I want a mob called the Trap Mob. And basically, what they would do is like as soon as you engage them, they just like take a dive under the ground and they run at you. And if they get under you, like you'd have to run away from them. And if they get under you, they open a giant trap in the floor and you fall through it and take like fall damage. And it could really significantly injure you. possibly even kill you if you're like, if your gear ain't that good. And once you fall into the trap, they could close it, and you'd have to fight your way out. Like you'd have to kill the mob in order to get out. Of course, they'd have to, and I know that the 4 is going to be on a new engine, right? So they'd have to have like a multi-level, uh, multi-layered levels. I don't know what other, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, I think it'd be, like a cool, like, I don't even know what they'd look like, but whatever. As soon as you engage them, they just dive under the ground and they take off running at you. And maybe they could have like a shark fin, like they're coming at you, or maybe like some fins or some kind of like a, you could see them coming at you and you'd be like, oh shit, I gotta run, and you take off running. And if you run far enough, they'll jump back up and you can fight them on the regular plane. But if they get to you before you, and like we see a goblin, we completely quit what we're doing and we chase the goblin down. It could be something kind of like that, but only like, no matter what you're doing, you see one of them trap mobs, you got to run. And it doesn't matter if you're fighting a Rift Guardian or I don't know if they're going to be Rifts, but you know what I'm saying? Like you could be fighting a boss, you could be fighting whatever, and they come charging at you, and you're like, oh no! And it could be multiple, so you have to run away from multiple ones and like dodge the different traps. And if you get trapped and there's multiple, then all the mobs would be in your little space down there, and they'd be doing significant. You're already, you take the fall damage, so maybe you're 50% health or something, and then they're beating on you, so your health is going down fast. So you gotta kill them and get out of that trap before you die. I mean, I don't know. Thoughts on that?
I wouldn't want to fight one of them in hardcore.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, bro.
I thought about it more this week. And visually, I think it would be awesome. But, like, I don't know, like, what kind of, like, abilities the
Mechanics.
This humanoid would have. But, like, the first couple times you see it, I think it would be awesome. But then after that, it would be like, okay, there's another one. But, okay, let's say a creature is, like, 40 yards away from you. And it looks like an angel. And the closer you walk to it, like you get like 30 yards away, and like petals start falling off of it, and like its halo falls off, and like the closer you get, and then like by the time you get to it, it turns, basically the wings are off, the halo's off, everything like that, and then it's obviously a demon. But then, like, you run away from it, and then, like, you see, like, the petals start coming back up to, like, its wings, and, like, the crown goes back up on its head. Like, to me, like, that would be awesome. I don't know if it's even possible in a video game. But, like, to me, that would be awesome to fight, like, something like that. You'd be like, oh, that's awesome for, like, the first 5 times, and after that, it's like anything else. It's like, okay, it's another one of them things, but,
I don't know. I don't know how much dungeon you did during World of Warcraft. You remember like the dungeon that was in the sky in Draenor? I want to say it was Draenor, right? Like you had to like go way up in the clouds to get into the dungeon. And I remember the name of the dungeon. Somebody's gonna be yelling at me, but I used to know everything there was to know about that game, and now I know nothing because I haven't played it in a long time. But anyway, there was like this kind of like a statue, and if you turned your back to it, it'd start shooting you, and you'd have to turn around and face it again, and it wouldn't, like then it wouldn't shoot at you. And so you had to have, like, when your group was running past it, you had to have somebody positioned to where the group could get past and then you could go before, because especially when you were low, like once you had gear, it was like, okay, stupid things hit me, who cares? But you know, like low level, you had to like pay attention to those kind of mechanics. Of course, gear always trumps mechanics in the end, but and it does in this game too. But you know, like the first time you see those, and that's kind of like that's what that reminds me of, because like you know, like you get close to it, and it's like an evil. It's like a proximity thing, like or maybe if you turn your back, it turns evil. Like you run by, like you're running up, like you're going up a thing, and you see like an angel, and you're like, oh cool, and then as soon as you get by it, it just starts shooting you, and you're like, hey, I thought it was an angel back there, and then you turn around and it's like an angel again, and you're like, what the heck? Maybe something kind of combine those two mechanics together, kind of tight. Nah, anyway, that's what it reminds me of, though. I think it's possible. Maybe when you're far away from it, it's like a good angel, but the closer you get to it, it becomes more evil, and then you know if you run back away to become good again, and maybe to heal up if you get away from it. So, and you could also introduce like a different kind of mechanic. Like the closer you get, the more damage you like. It may be random AOE damage. So maybe the closer you get to it, you know, the easier it is for you to kill, but the more you damage you're taking. So, and you get further back, and it starts healing itself because it's more good now. Maybe it's got like a bar like between sliding between evil and good type. I mean, I don't know, just to kind of expand on your idea a little bit.
Yeah.
But it would be visually cool, and that's one way to keep that thing relevant, as opposed to it just being like a visual thing. Like if you had that kind of mechanic, like you can't just ignore it because like you know it's gonna keep healing itself, and you know especially like in a hardcore character, it's gonna be something you have to take care of. You're gonna have to run up, kill it, and get it off the map. That kind of thing. Anyway, um, yeah, I think that's all for the question of the show, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I don't think we had blue notes or, you know, I was going to check the email before I, 1 second, sir. I do not believe that we had email. What is this here? 1 second. You know, what the heck? Why did it not come up? Okay, that's just saying. I got it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, there's no emails for the show, sir. Sorry, I should have done that before when we were yakking and before the show came up. I just now thought about it though. Wow. Hmm. Apparently, I was live on Twitch yesterday. I didn't know that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, I haven't been streaming. I haven't been streaming because my internet's jacked up. I know we were doing the show live for a while, and I know we are streaming and doing some other things, but it ended up not streaming because my internet. Yeah, it was just it's one of those things that's like. Anyway, it's a long story. I don't even want to get into it, brother. It's just dang. You want to get into? You have anything for the show? Anything else?
Nope.
All right. You want to get into other media?
Sure. I've watched on Netflix, and I told this in chat. I think the King Tut or Rona or somebody that like last week, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was on sale for $10 on iTunes, And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I never pulled the trigger and bought it. I'm like, screw it. And then just so happened that this week it was on, it was added to Netflix. So I went ahead and watched that, and that is like, I want to say that's like the third Marvel animation movie that I actually liked.
Hmm.
Hulk Versus was a pretty good one. I think that's on Netflix as well. There's not too many Marvel like animated things that I like enjoy. But to me, like that was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Wasn't made by Marvel. It was made by Sony. That was pretty good. Like I'd watch that a couple more times. Um, I watched since you got me into
Oh, it's my fault.
and the UFOs and stuff like that. I watched a couple.
Oh, it's my fault, huh?
Yeah, watched a couple UFO documentaries, and I watched a couple outer space ones about other planets and them like basically people coming up with this fake planet and like saying like, okay, if the atmosphere was like 30% oxygen and like it was like denser and stuff like that, like what kind of animals would be on this planet. And basically it was basically Jurassic Park with like flying animals. And then like the plants would like start like growing up into the sky because it was, I don't know, it's pretty weird. Like I was just listening to it while I was playing Diablo, to be honest with you. It's just basically background noise, but that was pretty weird. And
Did you check out the hardcore history?
I did not watch listen to hardcore history yet. No. And I'm gonna do a plug on this because I can, I guess. Tuesday, which is Tuesday, it has to, yeah, July 2nd, Tuesday, which is Monday night at midnight for me, because I'll be up then and watching it. Shazam comes out on iTunes. Yeah. I, pre-
Shameless self promotion plug.
I pre-ordered it yesterday, just so I automatically have it at midnight on Monday. And yeah,
How do you not get that for free?
yeah, because I don't work for DC Comics, sir.
Well, I know you don't work, but I mean, come on, man.
And on a side other media note, don't ever buy a Razer camera. They're completely and utterly trash. I'm gonna
Man,
just
that
I'm,
sucks, bro. I
I'm
know it's so
just
expensive too.
I'm just gonna bash this camera. This camera um just quick background. Um the end of last year I decided I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch the first of the year, which it did up until what, March or April or something like that. When my account got hacked and stolen, my back hurt, and all kinds of stuff. My back was injured, and I couldn't sit down, so I didn't play Diablo, so I couldn't stream. And then my account got hacked, and then I didn't have it for a month and a half. And yeah. Anyway, before that, I decided that I was going to start streaming a lot. So whenever you stream, you need a few key things, which one is an awesome microphone, which is I got a blue microphone. Another one is a camera. So I figured at the time I had a Razer keyboard, and Razer keyboards are awesome. And then Greed talked me into getting a Razer mouse this year. And I was like, you know, I don't like I'm not a big Logitech person. Like every time I think Logitech, I think crap office stuff. That's just you know my thinking their brand in my head. But yeah, I decided to buy a hundred and some dollar 1080p 60 frames a second Razer camera for over $100. And as you see every week, the quality isn't that great. And like last week and now this week, like there's a ring light around the camera, to make it look like the room's brighter than it actually is. It's pretty dark in here. Um, a quarter of it decided I just don't feel like working, so I'm just gonna go dark. Um, yeah, and I would not buy another one. Like, I don't know. I would take this out and just burn it. But this is what I have for now, and I'm going to continue to use it until it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, or till next year when I get a house, one of the two. But yeah, it's I would not buy another one. Like all their other stuff's good, like keyboard, mice.
Not all their stuff.
Camera, no.
Um, I'll start this off by saying I love Razer. I've had this keyboard here that you see in my lap. Um, I'm gonna say close to 12 years. That's a long time for a keyboard. I mean, you know how I bang on this thing. Um, all my keys are great. My E key light went out, like the little individual light. It's not that big of a deal. I could deal with that. I could also buy a replacement bulb, but I just haven't done it because it's not really doesn't bug me that bad. My mouse. I love my mouse. I got the Razer Trinity, which you can put the 12 buttons, the 9 buttons, or the 2 buttons on there. And then, this week I bought the mouse pad, which is it's not a necessary thing. Doesn't boost like performance or doesn't. It's like a cool looking thing. I don't know. I wanted one. Um, I've heard really, really not good stuff about their microphones. Obviously, their camera. You say you don't like their camera. I was gonna buy that camera, but I have a Logitech, and it's I mean I don't know. I think that's fine, right? It's a HD. It's not 1080p, so my video quality might be a little lower than yours. But I think it's fine for the show. You know what I mean? It's like a little Logitech thing. I heard their microphones. I heard their microphone not good. I heard it picks up everything on the planet, and if you're, and I guess if you're just talking on Discord, I guess you wouldn't even need one of these anyway. But their headsets. Um, there was a period of time where I went through headsets like crazy. I got 9 or 10, and they would like right here on the top, right here, they would snap in half. And I'm not like He-Man in these damn things. I would just take them off my head like this, and just set it down easy on my keyboard, and then I would take it, put it on my head like that, and that's it. I wasn't like, and they would snap, they would break in half. I broke in 1 year. I broke 8 or 9 sets. They're super loud. I mean, like damaging your ear loud as just, and you don't need all that. They're not noise canceling. Anyway, I didn't like it. I got Corsair now. These are The Corsair headset. I've had this 2 years. Works great. The quality. I love this up here. The top part, very very well made. Slides in and out. It's got a great microphone on it. I don't actually use it because I have the good podcasting mic, but I did before I bought that podcasting mic. I did quite a few shows with that microphone. And I think when I did get this microphone, there was some quality of sound improvement in the show. I think that the people who designed this keyboard, the Razer Black Widow, and the people that designed the mouse, I don't know what happened to the headphones and the microphone and the camera, but I mean, it's cool. Like, you come in the room, you see a Razer keyboard, you see a Razer mouse pad, you see a Razer mouse, you see a Razer camera, Razer microphone, right? But I don't know. I think you gotta. I think when you're looking for equipment for your setup, right? I don't think one company is going to get all, because one company is going to be really good at microphones, like your Blue microphone. That thing is awesome. It's money, and I don't want to spend it. I bought this as a cheap, pretty cheap microphone. I think it does a really good job. It was quite a bit less expensive than yours, and I can tell you when I listen to the show, I can tell that you have a way better microphone than me. Your sound quality is way superior than mine, but you spent more money, so you should get more for your money, right? It's not the case with that mic, with that camera. You spent way more money, and I think I have a great quality video quality, and so I think you spent more money but didn't get the more. What I'm trying to get at is I think you just got to shop around. Like, you can't just you can't just be a Razer guy. And I know there's some people out there that they just like Logitech, or they just like Corsair, they just like this or that. But I think when you're looking for equipment, you got to go, what's the best thing for my money, and what's the best product on the market. It's what I always do. Like, what's the best thing? And then, do I want to pay that much? Or do I want to back down and see if there's a cheaper model or a better option, right? Like a cheaper option that still does good. I think that's just what it is. Of course, it's hard to do because, like, you see a camera on the internet, it's Razer's got this great name, great company behind it, right? So you're looking at the camera going, hell yeah, Razer freaking camera, I'm gonna buy that. Unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate that camera is not that good. I mean, the first time I seen it, I was like, "Whoa, what's wrong with your camera?" I thought you had a settings problem. I can't believe as much money as that thing. I cannot believe that you can't. I'm almost wondering if you can't go into, like, what do they call that, Razer Synapses?
Yeah.
And adjust it. Because I can even adjust my damn mouse pad on Razer Synapses. No, I mean, I have my mouse pad and my mouse synced together so that it's the same color, and they change.
Yeah.
They do that wave thing, and they change at the exact same time. So I don't know if you can go into there and maybe improve your quality, or maybe you can. I don't know what you can do about that ring thing. The ring not lighting up.
Yeah, a quarter of the ring it does light up.
I don't know if there's some kind of forums. I don't know. A guy shouldn't have to go digging around on forums to figure out how come his camera's only lighting up 75% of the 100%, right? I don't know.
Well, it's more like right now it's more like 50% of the lights lit up and the other like 50%'s not. It was 25%. The scale artist.
Well, that's really unfortunate, brother. When you told me you got that camera, I was like, oh man, that's nice. Shoot, I wish I had that kind of cash, cause man. But yeah, I don't know, brother. I think you got to shop around, man. It sucks that it cost you $100 or whatever. Maybe it was more than 100, 150, whatever it was. But yeah, that sucked, bro. I don't even know if you were doing your other media.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, so I was gonna give you a suggestion on the other media. This is gonna blow your mind, bro. This is right up your alley. Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
watched that.
it's a series on Netflix. Yeah, bro. It's got Nazis and it's got aliens in it, dude. This is like a combination combining the two. I'm not gonna say your two favorite genres, but whatever, right? Man, this week, I don't know. I watched a few shows. I was kicking it old school and watched what is it? No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, that's a movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Man, bro, whew, that is I had forgotten that Woody Harrelson was in that movie. He does a really good job. One of his better roles, I think.
Is that the movie where the dude takes that
Yeah.
thing
Cattle
that kills?
prod.
Yeah, hits people with it.
Yeah. His move is knocking the door lock off. Man, I totally knew that dude was gonna get iced. Like, first of all, he moved to like 2 different motels before he figured out that there was a tracker in the suitcase. First of all, look, let me tell you something, guys. If you run across a murder scene and there's like all these obviously drug cartel guys and there's thousands of rounds spewed out everywhere and everybody's got fully automatic machine guns and freaking pistols and it is obvious everybody's dead and there's like a truck full of cocaine or heroin or whatever it was. I think he said brown dope, so that'd be heroin. So anyway, if there's a truck full of heroin and there's a giant suitcase full of money, do yourself a favor and dump all the dang money out and take your own bag. Quit being lazy. Don't take their bag. Don't be lazy. Follow that rule. If you ever find a drug cartel murder scene, take the money, but take it in your own bag. It wouldn't have took me 2 motels to figure out that, because this was like 2 random ass motels. It wasn't like he just was over here and then over here and they was in the same truck. He was on foot. He hitchhiked to one place. There's no way that they would have found him. Like, it took him like the second motel. He was like, oh, then he starts looking through the thing and finds a little tracker. Oh, yeah. First of all, I'd have took that money out on day 1. I'd have found that tracker. Because that wouldn't have happened to me because as soon as I got home, well, first of all, I wouldn't have took their suitcase. I'd have dumped it. I mean, maybe I would have carried it out of the desert, right? Like maybe I would have had to take their suitcase. I got to get it out of the desert. But once I get it out the desert back to my vehicle, I'm dumping the money. And I'm going to look, how much money do I got? He just had a suitcase full of money. He wasn't interested in how much money it was. It was just giant suitcase full of money. Not even interested. A lot of money. I got a lot of money now. That's what he thought. I got a lot of money. Okay, I'm counting the money. And if you count the money, you find the stupid tracker. And then you just throw it out, and they have no idea. The second thing that bugged me about that dude was he went back after he had the money. He went back to give the water to the guy that was dying. The dude was dying. First of all, I'd have shot that dude because he was like, he already seen who I was. And I'm not hanging around with the guy getting tortured who knows what I look like. I'm not into that. Look, you got shot. You was a drug lord anyway, so sorry, bro. I'm stealing your money and I'm capping you in the face. Just what it is. Sometimes life is just not fair. And sometimes when you're a drug cartel dude and everybody around you's dead and you're the only survivor and I'm stealing your money, guess what? You're not going to be the only survivor anymore. You're going to be the last person murdered. Because this is going to be it. Sometimes you got to murder a guy. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to say run around murdering people, but I'm just saying, like, you run across the situation. Like, he didn't know what happened. He's hunting in the desert, and he walks up on this scene, and there's all these dead bodies laying around, and he's like, oh, and then he opens the door, and the guy's alive, and he sees him. My immediate thought was, uh-oh. Well, that guy knows what I look like now, and I can't have that. Anyway, if y'all haven't seen it, I just spoiled the crap out of it, but watch it anyway. It's really good. It's one of my. I haven't seen it in a long time, man, but it's one of my favorite movies, man. That thing is it's like a crazy. It's got a lot of philosophy in it too, and a lot of what not to do. Second of all, or third of all, whatever you want to call it, the dude tells him that he's gonna go kill his wife. Look, you got a suitcase full of money. I don't know, I'm just saying. He could have handled that in a way better way. Because that's how they caught that guy. Because they knew that he was gonna go try to pick his girlfriend up. Or it was his wife, not his girlfriend. But whatever, right? Yeah, that could have been handled in a much better way. Especially with millions of dollars in a suitcase at your disposal. Anyway, watch it. It's a good show. And I guess I'll tell our fans, thanks for listening, guys. We have and thanks for participating in the community feedback. I know that we were saying, we only had a couple of responses, but we did have a couple of responses, which is awesome. At least we did get a couple. I don't know if people knew that was only a one show thing, because a lot of times we'll have a contest and we'll drag it out over a lot of shows. So maybe they weren't realizing that they were going to be heard on this show. So maybe they just hadn't gotten around to it yet. Anyway, check that section out, because Shazam might put another question of the show up, and if he does, then throw something in there if you're interested and you want to hear more about the topic or whatever. Anyway, again, thanks for listening. From everybody here at the Shattered Soulstone, y'all guys are awesome. And I'll just wave goodbye to you guys, and I'll let Shazam say goodbye and close the show.
You've been listening to episode 217 of the Shattered Soulstone, your Diablo community podcast. Missed an episode? You can find the show blog and listen to the show archives at www.shatteredsoulstone.com. With your support, you can help our show grow. Become a Patreon today, patreon.com/Soulstone. Come join us in-game. Our in-game community and clan, both named Shattered Soulstone, are open to anyone who would like to join. You can also join us on Discord for the ultimate team and community-based experience. Find a Discord invitation link on our Twitter and Facebook page, as well as the Shattered Soulstone website. This show is powered by you, the listener. Send in your contributions, thoughts, questions, and feedback to show@shatteredsoulstone.com. We love Twitter. Come join and tweet with us. You can find the show's Twitter at ShatteredStone, Vesper at Vespertilio1189, Deadgreed at Deadgreed1812, and me at Shazam081. You can find the show's Facebook page at facebook.com/Soulstone, Shattered Soulstone, and Vespertilio at facebook.com/Vespertilio1189. We would like to extend a huge thank you to Medros of Dawnforge Productions for hosting our Loot Deviant show. You can find more shows from the Dawnforge at www.thedawnforge.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, from all of us at the Shattered Soulstone, Over 216 episodes for your listening pleasure.
Dawn
Dawn Forge.
Forge.